given as input to which one? Reducer. Then we are getting as the final output. The final output, okay, which is actual workflow of which one? MapReduce. Okay, so now and one more thing is MapReduce model accepts both either inputs or outputs are only the key value pairs only. Accepts inputs and outputs only, the key value pairs only. Clear? So now in this model, in this example, once if I can see, this is a map function. What is the input of each and every map function? Let us assume this text file is divided into 3 blocks. That means 3 mappers are executed. To each and every map, what input? This is the line. Okay, the line is the input to this mapper. The second line is input to second mapper. The third line is input to third mapper. Okay, so now to the mapper, the input is key value pair. Okay, so in this, the key is automatically assigned by Hadoop. That is called the index value of this line. Okay, so key is index value. The value is this line. Okay, that is the input of map function. The output of map function is DR1, BR1, River1. Okay, so DR1, BR1, and River1. Clear? So now this is the output. Okay, the output of mapper DR, BR, reverse are which types? String types. 1, 1, 1 are called which type? Integer types. That means in key value pairs of the output mapper, the key is the string type, the value is the which type? Integer type. This output performing some sufficient sorting, that is given as input which one? Reducer. So what types we are maintaining to the output of the mapper, the same as used as the input of which one? Reducer. That means the reducer input, the key is also a string, the key is also a string, the value is also which one? Integer. Value is also a integer. Okay, so now the output of reducer is what is the count of each and every word. What is the count of each and every word? So BR2, CAR3, DA2, River2. This is the output of reducer. So the output of reducer, the keys types are which type? String type. The value types are which type? Integer types. So why I am discussing this one is, before writing the logic, first you have to identify what are the types of input types of key value pairs of mapper and output of mapper key value types, and that is the same as the input to reducer, and what is output of reducer and what is the type of key value pairs of the reducer. Okay, so we have to identify the type which data types we are used as a key value pair, either for mapper input and output and reduce input and output. Okay, I hope everyone understand. Okay, so now this is the actual flow of MapReduce model. Okay, so now a similar way, what type of data types we are using in the Java, the similar data types we are also used in a MapReduce programming model also. But the just little modification changes. Let's see, for example, we are using, let's see, this one. For example, in Java primitive, the data type is called as Boolean is one data type. So the Boolean data type can be used as, okay, Boolean writable in a MapReduce. The Boolean writable, okay. When we are at the MapReduce program, okay, if you need the Boolean type of value, we are using the Boolean writable. The size is same as the Java also. So if you want to use int type of data in MapReduce model, we are using int writable or vint writable, float writable, long writable, or double writable, double writable. Okay, so these are the some of the data types we are using, okay, in MapReduce. Okay, this is in depth we are discussing in the unit 4. Okay, so in the brief idea, the data types we are having in MapReduce model is similar way. What type of primitive types we are having in the Java, the similar data type we are used as in MapReduce as what's called as with writable, by using the writable, Boolean writable, byte writable, int writable, float writable, long writable for long accepted long data, double writable. Here one more data we have to know that if in Java, we are using the string. Okay, the similar type of string data type in MapReduce is text. The similar type of data type we are using in the text. Okay, so now that is the data types we are using. That is the data types we are using in MapReduce model. Clear? So just have to write nothing. Okay. So int we have to use which one? Int writable. Int writable. Okay. Similar way, for example, float. We are using the float writable. Float writable. Okay. Similar way, for example, if you want to write double writable. For example, if you want to use the string. Okay. The similar data type in MapReduce is called the text. The text. Okay. This is Java primitive type. This is the MapReduce data type. This is MapReduce data type. Clear? So now, okay. So now this is the data types you have to understand before writing the MapReduce model to any program. To any program. Clear? So the next one is now you can take the input to the map is a text file. The input map is a text file. Okay. So the input map is a text file. The input map is the text file. In this text file, what is the input to mapper? The index key is the index value of each and every line. Okay. The value is the what is called as the string. This is called like text type. That means so the input to mapper of word code is key value pair. What is key type here? The key type is integer. That is called as int writable or long writable. What's called as the long writable. That is called index value, comma. What is value type here? String. That is called text. This the input to which one? Mapper. Input to which one? Mapper. Right. So what will be the output of mapper? What was output of mapper? So the output of mapper is word comma 1. For example, deer comma 1, beer comma 1, river comma 1. These are the outputs of the mapper. The output of the mapper, what are the key types here? Text type. What is value type here? 1, 1. That is called int writable. What the output of mapper is? Key is string. That is called as text type. Output is integers. That is called int writable. That's why the mapper output we have to use. Output is the mapper output is okay. So now key is which type? Text type. Okay. The value is 111. That's why int writable. Int writable. Okay. So this mapper output is given as input to which one? Reduced input. That's why what will be the mapper output? The same type we are also used as the key value type for which one? Reduced input. So what is the output of reducer? Each and every word with its count. Each and every word with its count. That means beer comma 2, car comma 3, deer comma 2, river comma 2. These are the output of reducer. So the output of reducer keys are which type? Text type. The values are which type? Int writable type. Clear? That's why the output of reducer, the key is which type? Text type. The value which type? Int writable. Int writable. Okay. So now before start any MapReduce model, first you have to identify what are the input types of mapper, output types of mapper, input types of reducer, output types of reducers. Okay. And the MapReduce model must accept the inputs or outputs as the key value pairs only. The key value pairs only. Okay. So these are the map inputs and map output, reduced input types and reduced output types. I think hope everyone understand this one. Clear? So now then we go for how to write the logic. How to write the logic. Okay. So I already config the Hadoop in our laptop in Ubuntu OS. Okay. So if you want to how to config Hadoop in your Ubuntu, then I am providing some material. Go to the commands, then you have to install the Hadoop. Otherwise, I have to tell how to install Hadoop. Okay. And another way is we are having one more Cloudera bundle. Okay. In the Cloudera bundle, automatically we're having all the Hadoop open source frameworks, so Hadoop, Pig, Hive, Spark, okay, Flume, Scoop, such type of frameworks are also having the single bundle called the Cloudera. Okay, that is also we are providing, but that file size is almost all 6 GB. Okay, so now in my laptop I already configured Hadoop. Okay, so here I first write the Hadoop MapReduce program in Eclipse IDE. Now I open the Eclipse. Okay, I jump to which one? MapReduce model. Okay. So now first to write the MapReduce program, we have to open the Eclipse. Okay. So now we have to go for File, New, go back to Other. Which type of project I want to write? MapReduce project. That's why MapReduce project. Click on Next. Here I want to write the MapReduce project name. I want to write the logic for which one? Word count. Okay. So now here, when we are write the MapReduce word count in the first time, in this use default Hadoop, we have to specify the location of your Hadoop path where you are installing the Hadoop. Okay. So browse file system. I've set up the Hadoop in user local Hadoop. This is a path where I am installing Hadoop. Okay. Then click on OK. Click on apply. Then click on OK. Clear? So initially we have to specify this location. From the second time onwards, we know to configure this Hadoop install directory. Then click on finish. Clear? Now it creates a one project name with word count. Clear? So when we are set up the Hadoop path to our project, automatically the necessary all the jar files are included in this project automatically. Okay, JRE system library, all the jars are imported automatically. Okay, now in this I have to creating one package. First file, new. I have to creating one package. Okay, for example, given as a package, for example, Naidu some word count. Okay, click on finish. Okay, now this is the package. Now in this package, okay, in the last session, I'm also discussing when we are write the MapReduce program. Okay, so each and every program must include 3 types of codes. Those are called as driver code, next mapper code, next reducer code. Mapper code and reducer code. Okay, so these 3 codes we are having each and every MapReduce program. Okay, driver code, mapper code, reducer code. Okay, so the driver code is mainly used to run our MapReduce job. Okay, so if you want to run our MapReduce logic, okay, so the MapReduce program is run, okay, by the what the code we are specified in the driver code. Okay, the mapper code we write actually the mapper logic. In the reducer code we write the what the reducer logic. Yeah, so now each and every MapReduce contains 3 types of codes. Okay, mapper, reducer, and driver code. Okay. Now in this package we have to add those 3 codes. Okay. So package select package name, new, others. Clear? So in this others we're having the MapReduce. Expand the MapReduce. So reducer. Okay, MapReduce driver, mapper. First I have to import the driver. Okay, Next, you have to specify the driver code name. I have to specify the driver code name is word count. Okay. Click on finish. Clear? So when I am just see word count dot Java, when I am writing the driver code, by default some code is coming. Clear? So we won't write much code. What is the code necessary? Almost that code is already coming into our Eclipse. Okay, you have to just a little bit say, changing some statements. That is first a driver. Then we go for which one? Mapper. New other mapper. Okay, click on next. I'm given as mapper name is I'm given as word count mapper. It's a mapper class name. Word count mapper. Click on finish. This is word count mapper class. Now one more class we require is reducer class. New others reducer. Click on next. Then word count reducer. Word count. Click on finish. Okay. So fine. Now we're getting three codes. This is the driver code. This is the word count mapper code. Okay. This is the driver code. This is the word count mapper code. This is the word count reducer code. That is the word count reducer code. Okay. First, I have to write the logic for which one? Word count mapper code. Word count mapper code. Okay. Now, this is a package name of a project. Now IDC. Okay. Just keep it like that. Now, word count mapper is class name. It can extend. Okay. Mapper class. Now, this is the parameters of mapper class. The first two represents the input of mapper. The next represents the output of the types of mapper output. The types of mapper output. So in our program, just check what are the input types of mapper, long writable comma text. What is the output data types of mapper, text comma int writable. Okay. So if it is same, then keep like that. Otherwise, you have to change those two. Clear? So map input is long writable comma text. The mapper output is text comma int writable. Here not text. That's I can change this text to which one? Int writable. Okay. So here, underlining with red line means it is showing some error. Okay. The click on mouse, keep mouse on that. Okay. So you have to right click. Okay. Sorry. You have to keep mouse on that. Okay. Then you have to import intradable class. That's why you have to import, select import, and then click on OK. Okay. Then the error is not shown now. Clear? Now intradable. Fine. Next, coming back to map function. The actual logic to our mapper reducer we will write in the map function only. So within the mapper class, we are having the one more function called the map function. In this map function, we will write the actual logic. We will write the actual logic. Again, in the map function also, we have to specifying what is the type of inputs and what are the types of output. These are the types of input, the types of the output. Clear? So now in the that's a long variable. The variable I'm assigning for long variable is some key. Again, text I have using some value. X comma value. Now this is long variable. Long variable. Okay. The variable I have to I'm declared is some key, and text the variable I'm using for value. What is the output? Text comma iterable. This is the output of mapper. Okay. So actually the output of this mapper we have to emit or send back which one Hadoop. Okay. So if you want emit the output, if you want emit the output of the mapper address to the Hadoop, again we no need to write this output. Simply we will write using the context. So context object. Context object. Okay, so by using this context object only, we have to emit the output into the Hadoop. Clear? Just like how we are using system.out.println in Java, similar way if you want emit the output into the Hadoop, okay, so we are using the context object. Okay, that's why I'm using the context. This is same. If any errors are occurred, it can throws I have exception, that's interrupted exception. Okay, now we write actual logic. Now this is the input parameters, long variable and text, and the parameters are key comma value. Now what the key contains? The index value of each and every line. What the value contains? The line. That means the value contains this line. Okay, the key contains some of the index value assigned by the Hadoop. Some of the index value that can be assigned by the Hadoop. Okay, but here what we have to split to get an output of the mapper? Just we have to split this line only. This line is assigned by which one? Value. Okay, that's we have to split this value, and what this value, what this, how we can split this line? We have to split this line, identifying the what are different tokens we're having in this line. Then split the tokens and identifying token comma 1. That means D comma 1. Beer comma 1, river comma 1. Likewise, we have to emit the output. Okay. So to do that, here what I can do is clear. Here what I can do is, okay, first we need the line. The line is having in which object value. That's why take value. Actually, the value is object type. Okay, but what we require? We have to record a string type. That's why converting into toString. Okay, that is string. That's why string line equals to value dot toString. Now what the line contains? The line contains the each and every line of the text file. Each and every line of the text file. Clear? But when the input comes to the mapper, what the value contains? It is a line of which type? Object type. Okay, but which type I require? String type. Why? Because the string type, we have to converting that object type line into the string type is used to split the line into the number of the tokens. Okay, here the value contains a line that is even in text value. That the line is which type? Object type, but we have to convert that object type into string type. We're using value dot toString. Okay, the line line can be assigned to variable called as the line. So now what the line contains? The line contains each and every line of our input file of which type? String type. Now what the string contains? A string contains set of tokens. Now we have to split that string. To split that string in Java, we are having the class called as the string tokener class. String tokener s equal to new string tokener of line. That means this line is split as a number of the tokens. Now what I have to do is we have to take the one by one token. Take the one by one token then assigning token comma 1. For example, in a string, the first token is deer comma 1. The next token is beer comma 1. Next token is river comma 1. Like that, we have to emit into the which one? Hadoop. That's why S dot has more tokens. The has more tokens returns a true if S has a tokens. Otherwise, it returns a false. If S has a tokens, what I have to do is we have to take the token. We have to take the token. That's why to displaying the token to displaying the token. Okay. So to retrieving the token, we are using the method called as next token method. So S dot next token method, it returns a token and the cursor is moved to the next token. That is the role of the next token. The next token returns the token and then the cursor is moved to the which one? Next token. Now we get the each and every token. Now actually this token is each type? String type. But the mapper or reducer, each and everything must be object type. Each and everything must be a object type. Again, you have to converting this string type into which one? Object type. Object of which type? The mapper output is object of which type? Text type. The mapper output is the mapper in the mapper output. The key is text type. The key is the text type. Okay. That's why we have to create an object a text class. So text word equal to new text. Now to this word I have to set this token. So word dot set means to the word object this token is assigned set. Clear? Now what the word contains? The word object contains each and every token. The word object is contain each and every token. That is the output of mapper. The output of mapper, the key type is which type? Text type. Okay, text type and the token. Text type of which one? Token. That's why here we have to maintain. Here we have to maintain. Okay, word is object. To this word I have to assign the token. Now here context comma context. This context object can be used to emit the map reduce the map. If you want interacting the map reduce to the rest of the Hadoop, or if you want emit the output into the Hadoop. Okay, so now we are using context object. Okay, just like how we are using system.out.println in Java, here also to display an output into the Hadoop. Okay, we are to emit the output into the Hadoop. We are using a method called as context object with the method called as the write method. Okay, so the write method can accept two parameters. Both two parameters must be object. Both parameters must be a object. Okay. The first object is mapper output key. What is mapper output key? Is the text of which one? Token. The token is having an which object? Word. Comma. What is mapper output value? The mapper output value is which one? Mapper output key is the token. The value is the 1111 something. This is which type? Integer type. Okay. So now we have to take in word comma new int writable of 1. Okay. Now this is the mapper output. The mapper output is token comma 1. That is deer comma 1, beer comma 1, river comma 1. Okay. So here why I made new int writable of 1? 1 is a normal integer, but this parameter can accept only the object type. That's why we have to converting this integer 1 into which type? Object type. That's why we have to write new int writable of which one? 1. New int writable of 1. That means it can gives 1111 of which type? Object type. Okay, that is the mapper code. Okay, so it given us the input. Okay, his input is given to which one? The map function. Okay, now this will be given to which one? The output of reducer. Then getting the final output. final output. Okay. Clear? So now, what is the output of mapper is? The output of mapper is token comma 1. Just like how we're getting the output of mapper is getting as the output is key value pair, we're getting as the output is some token, maybe some beer something, comma 1, like that. Okay. For example, the token may be the same token may occurred more than one time. For example, taken as river. Okay. For example, river comma 1. For example, in our example, the river is occurred how many times? The river occurred 2 times. That means, for example, this can be given as input to reducer as river comma 1, and again river comma 1. River comma 1. Okay. That means the river can occur how many times? 2 times. Means this can be given as input to reducer as river comma, okay, so 1 comma 1, 1 comma 1. So that means likewise the input is given to which one? The reducer function. Now this is given as which function? Reducer function. Okay. So actually we are getting river comma 1, river comma 1, but after performing the shuffle and sorting, the input is given to reducer as each and every token with what is the integer value of each and every token. That means river one is 2 times occurred. That's why river comma 1 given as the input to which one? Reducer. Okay. So now in this reducer, the river is called as a key. Okay. Now the set is called as the value. Called as the value. So the key, what the key contains reducer input? The key contains reducer input is a text. Okay. The value contains to the reducer input is a set of integer values. A set of integer values. So these set of integer values can be denoted, these set of values can be taken by the reducer based on the class called as the iterable. By the class called as iterable. Okay, so iterable class can be used to getting these set of values. Okay, and what are the type of these values? The type of these values are integers. Okay, so that means once if you can see the reducer code, clear? The reducer code, the input type is text, the output is int-writable, the reducer input value type is int-writable, reducer input is text, okay, reducer input key type is text, reducer input value type is called as int-writable, these are integer values, fine. Okay, the output is also, what is the output, what is the output of reducers? Token comma total count, that is we are getting as, for example, just like getting as river comma 3 something. Okay, so river comma 2, this is the output of reducer or the final output. That means again the reducer output, the key is also a text, the values is int-writable in the reducer output. Okay, so we have to change that one. Okay, so this is the reducer input types, this is the reducer output key value types. The reducer input types, key is the text, value is the int-writable. The reducer output, the key is the text, the value is the int-writable. Now we coming back to in the reducer class, we are having the method called the reduce method. Clear? So now what the text contains? The text is the key, that is called as some token. And now here just now we are discussing the input reducer as the input reducer, the value can be taken as the set of values, that is iterable values. That's why here we are using iterable. Okay, the values are iterable values, and each and every value is which type? Each and every value is iterable type. Each and every value is iterable type. That's why I'm using the iterable comma values, context comma context. Now what the values are contains a set of values. So to iterating these values, we are using the for loop. This is also another type of for loops we are using in Java. I think already you know that. Okay, so this is the for loops. Now what the values contains? The values contain set of values. Values contain set of values. What are the type of these values? The type of these values are which type? Iterable. That's why I'm using the iterable. That means these are the values. The values are which type? Integer types. That's why I'm using the iterable. Okay. Now each and every value of this set of values is assigned to which one? Var. Okay. So that's why what I have to do is I have to count how many values we are having in the set. That's why I'm taking as some int. Okay. Taking as some initialize to 0. Okay, so now what I can do is I have to sum equals to, okay, sum plus I have to take each and every value from this set. Okay, so now these values are which type? Object types. Okay, so if you want getting from the object type to integer type values, we are using value dot get method. To get each and every value of the iterable object values, we are using object dot get method. Okay, so the iterable class contains a set of values of which type? Objects. Okay, so now to get those each and every value of each and every value from those set, we are using the val dot get method. Now what the sum contains? The sum contains the total values of a particular key. For example, taken as this one. Clear. So now what the values contains? What the value contains? 1 comma 1. So now first one is assigned to val. Clear. Sum equal to sum plus val dot get. That is 0 plus 1. Sum is now 1. Then the val to the val assign another one. Now sum becomes to 2. Now no more values in the set. That's why we have to exit from the for loop. Okay. So when we exit from the for loop, what the val contains? The count of the total values, the count of all the values in a set. That is the sum contains. So if you want displaying that one, if you want displaying or if you want emit that output, what we are using context object. So context dot method called as the context type. So what will be the output of the reducer? Token and its count. The token is which type? Text type. Okay, the text is the token we're having in which variable? In which object? Key object. That's why. So now key. Okay. So now each and every key we have to display the what is the count of the token. The total count of the token we're having in which variable? Sum. But sum is which type? Integer type. But what type this argument accepts? Object type. That's we have to use convert that integer type to we have to mention as object type as new int writable of which one? Sum. Text. context context dot write off text is a key. Fine. Okay, so now this is the key is a token. Clear? So this is the what is the total sum of each and every token. Okay, so likewise we are displaying the output of the reducer. So till now the reducer code is completed. Now coming back to the driver code. So in the driver code, we have to specify what is our mapper class name, what is the reducer class name, what is the final output key type, what is the final output value type. That can be we have specified in the driver code. So the driver code name is here. Okay. So till now we are completed. So word count mapper class and word count reducer class, word count mapper, word count is completed. So now we have to modify the driver code. Okay, this is the driver code. Now in this driver code, what I have to do is just you have to modify the mapper class name, the reducer class name, and also the mapper name, reducer class name. You have to specify the output key class type. Okay. So now this is the driver code. So in this driver code, we are using one configuration class. So this configuration class is mainly used to configure our entire job, entire your job. Okay. So now this is the configuration class. Okay. And also we are using the job. Okay. So to this job class, we have to one object is we have to passing this configuration object. So another one is called as here the job name. Okay, so what is our job name? Just like what is our program name? Okay, that is we have to specify in the job name. Okay, so just we may giving any name, job name, just like our program name or anything. Okay, so just like a job name given as some word count, the job name I'm given as some word count. Okay, next to specify the mapper. Okay, to specify the mapper class name, we are in the method called a set mapper class of which object? Job instance. Okay, job object. Okay, job dot set mapper class. In this, we have to specify the mapper class name. What is the mapper class name? Word count mapper. Okay, that's your reading as word count mapper dot class. And to specify the reducer class name, we are using the set reducer class of which object? Job. What is the reducer class name? Word count reducer. Just we are specifying the word count reducer. Clear? So word count reducer. Be careful when we are modifying these class names. If you are given a wrong naming, then we are not getting the exact output. Okay. So word count mapper. Okay, and word count reducer. Okay, now to specify the output types. What are the output types? That is the reducer output types. Okay, so reducer output type is key value type. In the reducer output key value type, what is the key type? The key type is a text. What is the value type? Value type is a int writable. That's why in the reducer output that is called the output type. The output type is int writable. That's why we have to modify int writable. Modify to int writable. Okay. Just you have to importing this int writable. Clear? Now, clear? Next. Now, how to run this program. So to run this program, here we have to specify file input format, set input paths. That means from which we are executing the our input file. What is the location of our input file? Input path, that is called as, from the command line I'm given as input path, that is called as args of 1 is our input path. Args of 1 is our input path, clear, and also args 2 is our output path. Args 2 is given as our output path. Okay. So now to set input paths. To set input paths, we are using a method called as set input path. Okay, that is again to job. Okay, everything can be configured which one. If you want to configure the job, we are in the some. First, we are creating instance or object to the configuration class. Then this object is passed to which one? A job. Okay, by job dot guest instance. In this, we are specifying the object of the configuration, then the job name, then specifying the mapper class name, reducer class name, output types, and input path. Okay, so from which we have to pass in the input path to our job, that is we are specifying here from the command line args of 1 I'm given as the input path. Okay, so where what is the location of output path? Okay, so the I have to maintaining the output path from args of 2, from args of 2. Okay, that's why given as input path and output path. Okay, so these may be clearly understanding when we run the program. Okay, so that's why args of 1 is our input path, args of 2 our output path. Clear? Now then we have to save this driver code. Now likewise we have to write driver code, mapper code, and reducer code. So till now we have to complete the logic for word count. The logic for word count. Okay. Now we have to listen carefully. Okay. So how to run this program? Now first, actually our project contains how many Java files? 3 Java files. Okay. Now this is driver code, mapper code, reducer code. So remember one thing, when we want run the MapReduce program, okay, so the MapReduce program accept the job as a jar file only. The job as which one? Jar file only. That means Java archive. Okay, that means you have to converting the entire Java files into some jar file. Then we are run that jar file by the in the MapReduce program. Okay, that means if you want to run the Hadoop MapReduce program, so once if you write the program, we need to converting the program into the jar file. Then the entire jar file is executed only. So now already we are writing the driver code, mapper code, and reducer code. Now we have to converting this one into. Now we have to converting this one into jar file. Okay. So now how to convert this jar file? Just here I can show you. Okay. First we have to click on the project. Okay. Right click, run as. First run configurations. Run. Choose Java application. In this having one plus symbol. Okay, click on the plus icon. Okay, this is the procedure to converting our entire program into jar file. Okay, here given as any one name. Just I'm giving for example word count. Clear? Now main class. What is the main class name? What is the project name? Word count. Okay, so just search for that. Click on search. Just take some time. Okay. Now search for the main class name. Our main class name is called as word count. So it may be at st. Yes. Yes. This is word count - Naidu WC. The Naidu WC is our package name. The word count is our main driver code name. Okay, that's why select that one. Okay. So click on OK. So click on OK. Then apply. Okay. Then run. Okay. Yeah. So that's fine. Okay. Now again we have to right click on the project. You have to right click on the project. You have to go for export. Okay, under Java, expand Java, runnable jar file. Click on next. So launch configuration. What the configuration name is? Word count. So that is configuration name is word count. Our main class name is also word count. Check that one configuration. Okay. For example, if you're having the 2 or 3 projects here, okay, just you have to remember what is our main class name and what is the configuration name. I'm giving us configuration name is word count and our main class name is word count. That's why word count, word count. Okay. And export destination. From which location we want to export this jar file. Okay. So browse. I have exporting into some desktop. I think in the folder called as word count folder. Clear? Here I'm given as sorry. Example in the desktop. I have to creating one folder. Okay. I'm giving a folder name for example. Word count. For example, word count 1. Okay. Word count 1. Word count ex. Word count example. Okay. So on this word count example, I have to store. Okay. So here we have to specify the our jar name. By default, untitled.jar. We have to change that one into uh, word count dot jar. Word count dot jar. Now this word count dot jar file is saved on desktop in the folder called as word count ex. Okay. Then click on OK. Then finish. You may show some warnings. It's not a problem. Okay, then click on OK. It takes some time. Now what it can do is it converting our entire files into which one? Jar files. What is the jar file name? Word count dot jar. Our jar file name is called as word count dot jar. So if you're having the well configuration of your system, then it will take a little bit faster. Okay. So 4 GB RAM, that's why it may take some time. Here, then click on OK. Now it's finished. Now till now we have to complete it, how to write the MapReduce logic, and then we have to converting that entire program into the jar file. Clear? Now if we can go back to our desktop. Okay. So in the desktop, we are creating one folder called word count ex. Now this is word count dot jar. Now our program is ready to execute now. Clear? Now I have to creating one input file. For example, I have to creating some input dot txt. Just I want to count the input file. Then open this one. Just some hi, hello, hello, hi, hi, Raj, Raj. How are you? Okay. Hi. Oh, identifying the word count. Okay. Hello. Write something. Okay. Yes, I'm given as some text file here. I'm given as some text file here. Okay. That is what I want to do is I want to find out what is the count of each and every word. How high occurred how many times? 1, 2, 3. How low occurred how many times? 1, 2, 3. Likewise, we have to find out the count of each and every word. This is just assuming as one text file. Assuming as one text file. Okay. So now you know now we are getting the input file and also getting as the jar file. So now we have to run this file. Now we have to run this file. Okay. So to run this file, first we have to open the terminal. We have to open the terminal. Clear? So now open the terminal. Open the terminal. Clear. I think I have to increase the font size. I think now it's visible. Okay. So now first, before run this program, first we have to start the Hadoop. To start the Hadoop, we have the command called as start all.sh. Is a command to start a Hadoop from the command line. Okay. Start -all.sh. Okay. Now it can start the Hadoop. It can take little bit of time. Okay. That means because to start the Hadoop, we need different components. That's already we're discussing building blocks of Hadoop. Those are called as name node, okay, data node, secondary name node, resource manager. Now start all those services. All those services are started when we are given the command called as message. Okay. So here node started. Okay. Likewise, it starts all the name node. Now we are given as fine. When we are coming to new terminal, we have to give one command called as JS. That is Java process status. This command is used when if you are given as start all. So how many services are started? Okay. The total services are started. Okay. We are given the command called as JPS. That is JPS. That is called as JVM process status. Click on enter. So click on enter. Just you can displace JPS is one service, resource manager, node manager, name node, data node, secondary name node. That means if you want run your Hadoop program, okay. So when we are given as once if you're given as start all.sh command, okay. So after starting all the services, if you're given as JPS command, if we must having the name node, data node. If you are sometimes if you're not well configured your system, sometimes these nodes may be missing. At that time your job is not running properly. Okay, that's why when we are giving the JPS, we have to identify all these services must. Okay, so now our Hadoop is started now. Now we have to run our program. Clear? So once if you start the Hadoop, okay. So to know that that Hadoop configuration, okay, just open the browser. So open the browser, okay. Here just you have to given the URL just like a local host. Okay, local host colon I 0070 is the port number. Okay, enter that one. Okay. It can displace the Hadoop administration phase. Okay, this is now. Okay, so in this we are having the snapshot, that is the snapshot of our entire configuration, and it can having the data nodes information, how many data nodes we are having, okay, how many blocks we are having, that type of information we are having in the data nodes. Okay, in this we have overview tab, we are having entire the overview of your Hadoop configuration. Okay, and in the utilities, the actual HDFS information we are having at the in the utilities tab. Clear? So now, first what I have to do is to run the program, what is required? Input is required. Okay. So now the Hadoop is mainly works based upon the HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System. Hadoop Distributed File System. That means in our local system, we are having the input file that is called as input.txt. So the input.txt is having in which system? In our local system, a desktop in a word count folder, we are having input.txt. This input.txt is now at our local system. Now what I have to do is I have to move this input.txt into the HDFS. I have to move this input.txt into which one? HDFS. Okay, Hadoop distributed file system. Now you can see how we can move this local file system into the HDFS. Now what I have to do is to run any command, okay, Hadoop command, the command is almost a similar of our Linux commands, but what we have to add is just we have to add Hadoop space DFS. That is only we have to add Hadoop space DFS, and sometimes it also accept Hadoop space FS also. Both are same, Hadoop space DFS or Hadoop space FS. Now Hadoop space FS. Now first I have to creating one directory in HDFS. So to create directory in maybe in Linux, what the command we're using? mkdir. But in each and every command, just we have to use -mkdir only. If you want creating a directory or anything, we have to use -mkdir. Now I have to create a directory in which one? HDFS, Hadoop Distributed File System. Okay. Now our directory name is called, for example, word input. Word input is our directory name. Here, for example, let's see in this. Click on utility, browse the file system. So in this we are not having, this is our actual system, this is our actual space that contains the information about our HDFS. This is a space that contains the information about our HDFS. So initially we are not having any information of our, sorry, I am running one program. By default it is having the word input, word output. It is having the previous information about HDFS. Okay. Now, for example, if I am creating Hadoop DFS mkdir, for example, given as enter, just listen. Okay, so just verify. So given as Hadoop DFS mkdir slash word input, what can shows is just see word input already exists. That means once if you can see our HDFS, in HDFS already we are having the directory called as word input. Okay, that's how to change this one. Just I'm given as word count input. Given as word count input. For example, WC input. Just see. Okay, WC input. This is our word count input. Okay. Now WC input is created now. Now what I do is, now in our HDFS, I am creating one directory called as WC input. Now to this directory, I have to move our input file. I have to move our input file. So where is our input, actual input file? Our input file is having desktop. Okay, under desktop, we are having word count ex, one folder. That's a list of files of word count ex. Okay, input file and word count jar. Now in this word count ex folder, we have input.txt. Now this input.txt I have to move into which one? HDFS. Under HDFS, which directory? WC input directory. I have to move this input.txt into WC input. Okay. So to copy, it is one of the most important command. To copy a file from our local file system into our HDFS. Okay. So we're having the command called as Hadoop DFS copy from local. Copy from local. In copy from local, C is small letter, F is capital letter, local L is capital letter. Copy from local. Okay. So copy from local. What I want to copy? Input.txt. So this is our local file system. What are the file that we are having in the local file system? I have to move this local file system into HDFS file, HDFS. In HDFS, In under HDFS, we have to move into which directory? WC input. Okay, that's why I'm given as slash WC input. Now what can do is this copy from local command. It can be used to copy the file from the local file system into our HDFS. In HDFS, I already creating one directory called as WC input. Into the directory, I have to move this input.txt. Okay, then click on enter. Then click on enter. Now this input.txt is copied to WC input. This WC input is already having in a HDFS. Already having in a HDFS. Now we can check the HDFS. Okay. This is our HDFS. Just have to again browse the file system. Yes, I have refreshed. Now we're getting this. In the previous, we are having only these two only. Now we're getting the WS input directory. In WS input directory, I have to copy our local file system file that is called input.txt. Now, our input file is now having in which file system? HDFS file system. Okay. So now, what is block size? 128 MB. This is actual size of the file. Okay. So now, the replication factor is how much here? 1. We can also change the 1 to 3 also in the configuration files. When we are installing the Hadoop, we must change this replication factor. Okay, so the block size is 128 MB. Now this is our input file. Now our input file, now we are having in which directory? In which file system? HDFS file system. That is called as Hadoop distributed file system. Now to run our program. So now our jar file, now we have to run our jar file. Clear? Now our jar file is having in which location? Desktop word count tx. Desktop word count tx folder only. Now we have to run this jar file. To run this jar file, okay, Hadoop space jar space Hadoop space jar space. What is the jar file name? Our jar file name is word count.jar. Word count.jar. This is the common. Okay. Now here we have to specify our job name. Just see when I'm creating a driver code. In the driver code, here I'm specifying our job name. What is the job name here? Word count. That word count you have to specify here. That can be taken as args of 0. Taken as args of 0. That is word count. That is a job name. What you are specifying in the driver code, that is our job name. Next, input path. This is args of 1. Args of 1. In which location we are having our input? We are having our input file in which one? WC input. That's why given as slash WC input. Okay, this is args of 1. That is we have to specify here. From the command line argument, okay. So the args of 1 is what is the path of input file that is having in a HDFS. In HDFS, I am creating a folder called as WS input. On to the WS input, we are having our actual files. That's why the WS input is the input path. Now, when we are run the jar file, we no need to create the output directly in HDFS. Okay, here what we are providing in this args of 2, what type of folder name we are given as in the args of 2, the Hadoop itself creates that directory into the HDFS, then the output is saved into that directory. So as like input directory that we are created by mkdir, it's not necessary to converting the output directory. So we are given as the output directory name is called as slash WC output. This is our output directory. That means into the directory the actual output is stored. Okay. Now then enter. This is the command to run our job or to run our program. Hadoop space jar space job name space jar file name. What is jar file name? Word count.jar space job name is word count. This is our HDFS input directory. Our HDFS input directory is /wc input, output is /wc output. Okay. So it may take some time to run this command. Okay. The map 0%, reduce 0, map reduce is running. Okay. So map 100%, okay. So let's see. When we are getting output like this, that means your your program is working correctly. Okay, so now it can displace the file system counters. That means the program, okay, number of bytes read, number of bytes written, number of read operations performed. Okay, that type of information is displayed, and also it can displace split, how many records split. Okay, shuffled maps. Okay, failed can be given by it can be displayed taken by the Hadoop itself only. We know it write the code for this purpose. This can be displayed by the Hadoop itself only. So map 100% and reduce 100%. That means both map and reduce are executed successfully. Executed successfully. Clear? That's it. Okay. Now, if you want to see the output, okay, again go back to again go back to our browser. Okay, what is our output directory path name? What is our output directory path name? The output directory path name is WC out. WC output. Clear? Now, again I have to go back. So now I have to refresh this one. Okay. Let's see. In this we are having. Clear, the directory called as WC output. This is our output of our output directory created by itself. In this directory, okay, the Hadoop itself by default create one file called as part-r-5 This is our output file path. It can automatically created by the Hadoop itself only. Click on that one. Just have to download this one. It will take some time. Yes, okay, it's open. Now I have to open this file. Open. Oh, see, it's here. This is the word count. So in our text file, this is our input text file. Let's see our input text file. Our input text file R is akka 2 times, hello 3 times, hi 4 times, HOE 1 time, how 1 time, RAS 2 times, U 2 times. This is the word count. Clear? For example, if you can see our input file, this is our input file. Okay. So our input file, this is our input file. Hi occurred 1, 2, 3, 4. That's why high count is how much? 4. See R count is how much? R 1 and 2. R is 2 times. Now this is our word count, and all the words we're having in which one? Alphabetical order based upon the key, based upon the token. First A, H, R, U. This is a simple word count program using the MapReduce. Clear? So now we have to remember how to run these commands. Okay. So when we want to run the Hadoop MapReduce program, the program must be converted to the jar file. The jar file is only we have to run. The command is Hadoop space jar space word count or jar file name, job name, input path and output path. Okay. And this is the command to copy the data from the local file system to the HDFS.